All right, everyone, what everybody has been waiting for, top 5 questions that I get most frequently about pet sitting around the world. So that's the most important thing. If you don't know me, my name is Danielle or Dee Dee Cardinal. I'm an American. I live in Portugal. And while I was waiting for my residency visa, I pet sat and saved $10,000 to $15,000 in that 6 months just in accommodations alone. I absolutely love pet sitting. I have pet sat all over the world. While saving that $10,000 to $15,000 in accommodations, I have been able to pet sit over 50 homes and more than 50 pets, as well as travel the world, save money, get my loves and cuddles in because I miss having a pet, and also just seeing parts of the world as if you were a local.
You dreaming of moving abroad but not quite sure where to call home? Let me tell you about an option called Trusted House Sitters, the perfect way to explore new cities and countries, live like a local, and discover if this place is truly going to fit your lifestyle. And it's all about caring for adorable pets. With Trusted House Sitter, you can stay in a real home, in a real neighborhood, and experience day-to-day life in a city before committing to a big move. As someone who's been a pet sitter for over 3 years with Trusted House Sitter, I've had the chance to live in a variety of incredible places, getting a true sense of the local vibe, the culture, and the pace of life. And if the city doesn't feel like the one, no problem. Move on to your next adventure without any strings attached. I have very fond memories of going into a British pub with one of the dogs that I pet sat, and everybody knew the dog but looked at me because they didn't recognize me. If this sounds like a perfect way to find your dream destination, check out my referral link in the show notes. You'll get 25% off your membership to start your journey as a sitter or a host or both. Discover your next chapter with Trusted House Sitter today.
So let's go. I have 5 of my most frequently asked questions, and I'm ready to do them. Oh, by the way, I'm in a house sit right now in Portugal. It's a traditional house. It's absolutely stunning, and I love it. All right, let's go. Yeah. I have the questions on my phone, and question number 1 is, how do I make my profile stand out? So first off, if you don't have a lot of animal experience, then just get yourself some certifications and training. That will go a long way. And take a picture and put it in your profile pictures. And then mention it, of course, in your profile. So for example, I know of at least 3 or 4 organizations that do free or very cheap online first aid for animals. So you can do the basic first aid and you can do the advanced first aid. And those certifications can really kind of give you the bump up based on if somebody that they're looking at doesn't have a lot of experience and you also don't have a lot of experience on the platform, but you have these certifications, it will be helpful. Another example is Red Cross. They have a pet first aid for like $25 and it's online, self-directed. So you can take it, get the certificate, take a picture of the certificate, put it on your profile for your pictures, and then also mention it. Again, I also mentioned things that I know that homeowners are interested in. So I have a lot of experience with gardening. I am a master gardener and I put that on the list. I said that I was a homeowner, and so that really can put a lot of hosts at ease. Another thing is if you've ever done any other kind of experience to taking care of animals, whether it's walking your friend's dogs on care.com, if you've pet sat or washed a dog or groomed a dog, if you've been on Rover and you have reviews, those are great to mention, as well as take a picture of a couple of the reviews and put them in your profile picture. They usually have, at least with Trusted, there are like a medley of photos that you can add. So there's probably like about 10 or 15 photos. In those photos, you would want pictures of you and, obviously a pet. But also you can use that to kind of highlight if someone hasn't read your whole profile. They'll look through the pictures and they'll say, oh, she has a first aid certification, or oh, she's on Rover and has walked 40 dogs and has reviews. So it's really important to kind of put yourself ahead of other people with things that you might not even think are relevant, like gardening, household care jobs, if you have had any kind of experience as a homeowner or taking care of a home. I know on Trusted House Sitter, they also allow you to have what's called personal references. And I did this when I first got started. I used a friend and they referenced me and I referenced them. And then also, I had a friend that I occasionally would go over and sit with their dog, let them out, give them a walk and food. And I asked her, and she said, yeah, sure, no problem. And that looked, when I didn't have reviews yet, that looked as if like I was a little bit higher up than any of the other people that were at the same level that I was. Okay, so number two is how do I get my first sit? I don't have any reviews, I don't have any experience, I don't really know where to start, but I want to travel the world. Okay, I gotcha. You can follow the rules that I followed that made it so easy. Number one, wherever you live, just go local. So your first couple of pet sits should be local. For example, when I first started out, I did weekends and I did long weekends and I did holiday weekends right within the area that I lived in, less than 20 miles. I applied. I told them that I could see them ahead of time. I could come to the house ahead of time. And that the reason why I was doing this was because I was new to the platform. I was close to the house. I promised that I would stay and spend the night in the house, that I wouldn't be going back home. And I wanted that review. So I made my goals very, very clear. I said, I want to travel the world. I want to go to Europe, and I know it's competitive. I need those reviews in order for it to happen. And so they knew exactly that I wanted to work really hard to get the good review. And then they were like super happy because they could see me ahead of time. And then they knew that I was familiar with the area. So, for example, if I needed to go to the vet for an emergency, I knew what to do. Right. So that's the first thing that I would do is go local. I went local about, I think my first three or four um, sits. And then after that, I had enough experience to go and do some of the Eastern United States. And then with that, I went to New York City. And then with that, I went to London. And then I went to Italy and I went all over the place. So that's the best way to start. Another thing that's really important is that you actually make a call to action. That means that in your message, you pull something from that profile that they've talked about, and you either talk about that area, the pet, them, their hobbies, something to connect you if you've ever been to that area before, and then you let them know there's a call to action. Take a look at my profile. Look at my reviews. If you think that I would be a good match, please reach out. I will get back to you as soon as possible. Right? That is the way to get it. If you don't ask for it, you're not going to get it. One of the things that I do all the time is I tell people, you know what, I've been to this area where you live before, so I'm not going to be a tourist. I'm going to spend the majority of my time with your pet at your home. Or even let them know I'm working online. Here's my schedule. During those days, I don't leave the house. And that will kind of give them a better idea that you're a good fit for them. Okay, so now you're like, I've made my profile. I have applied to a sit. What are the questions that I should ask? I have you because I have a free ebook with the most common questions that I ask before I say yes to a pet sit. So all you have to do is just sign up for the ebook. It comes with 10 questions and more. All of the questions are the ones that I use right off the bat. So people are always asking me, what are my red flags or what are some red flags? And I do have to say it's all personal. For me, red flags are dogs that can't be alone for more than 2 to 3 hours. That's just crazy. Um, I wouldn't probably pet sit a dog that can't be alone for more than 5 or 6 hours or is crate trained, one or the other. I wouldn't pet sit puppies. It's just too much stress, too much potty training, and too much training at their young age. Yeah, that's about it. I have pet sat the sickest pets. I've pet sat pets with cancer, pets I had to put to sleep, pets that were put to sleep just before I got there, and I was just basically a house sit then. I have kind of like done it all: indoor cats, outdoor cats, high energy dogs, low energy dogs, dogs that just got out of surgery, dogs that had surgery and are arthritic. Something that you should think about is people will show themselves and their behavior, so believe it the first time. And I take this pretty seriously. This is a free transfer for transfer accommodation, and so I don't really put up with a lot of stuff. So if they are unclear in their messaging and they can't seem to get their dates straight, I don't pet sit for them. If they schedule an appointment for an interview and they no show, I don't give them a second chance. If they aren't really forthcoming on how the pet is, I don't. If they can't answer straight out questions, if like for example, is the dog reactive? Has he ever bit anyone? Is he okay with strangers? How does he do in public settings? If they don't really know those answers or have lots of excuses or reasons, I don't pet sit those pets. And our last question that I always get is, how do I have so many 5-star reviews? Now, let me tell you, I've probably pet sat about 60 times and have about 50 reviews. So there are some reasons why some people don't leave a review and sometimes why I don't leave a review. I feel like if I don't have anything nice to say, I don't say anything at all. And I also know that platforms like Trusted House Sitter have just recently changed their protocol more to an Airbnb review, where you only have a certain amount of time for a review and you only get to see their review if you review. So that might also be the issue: time constraint, they forget to leave a review or whatever. Either way, the way that I get so many 5-star reviews is at the very beginning when I was first starting out. I asked for them. I let them know in the interview, hey, I'm looking to really like move abroad and I want to go to places like Paris or London. And that means lots of reviews. But practically, what I do is as soon as I get into a house sit, I take pictures of each room and then I return everything to exactly where it was. Often, when you're in a pet sit or in a longer pet sit, for sure, you're moving things around and people will know immediately that you've moved stuff around. And it kind of gives some people like the EBGBs, right? They don't really like that it feels like somebody's been in their house, which I have been. The other thing that I think about is the place should be at least as clean as when they left. So there are some places that are absolutely immaculate. Like they have twice a week cleaners that come in while you're pet sitting, or maybe that's what they're used to. And they've just kind of told the cleaner to hold off because there's a sitter there. So that means that you have to be immaculate as well. And if you find that the house is not necessarily as clean as you would want to, first you're going to clean the areas that you want to live in. There are often times that I go to whole house sits like this one. There are like 6 rooms I will never go into. There are 3 bathrooms. I'm only using one of them because at the end, I just want to clean one bathroom. And so I always take pictures, I always clean. And then if there is something, for example, like, I don't know, I walked in and I put my stuff in the refrigerator and the refrigerator's a little dirty. When I take my stuff out, I clean the refrigerator. Every review that I get says something about my cleanliness, whether it's we can't even tell she was here, or it's cleaner than when we left, or everything looks exactly the same. She left the house immaculate, whatever it is. That tells other people that I'm respectful of their house. The most important thing though is that I take pictures of the pets daily. I take pictures whenever I see the pet doing anything cute, sitting outside, laying on the couch, doing anything. And those are the pictures that I send because they can look at that picture and know immediately, oh, he looks relaxed. And there is one cat in particular. I am a morning person. And so I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning and they told me, he's probably not going to like you. He's probably not going to let you pet him. He's probably not going to sit next to you. He's probably going to leave the room when you're there. that cat was sitting on my lap. And I said, do you know he's a morning cat? He loves the morning. And so I was able to get pictures of him that they were like, what camera are you using? I'm like, I don't know, just my iPhone, you know? They were so impressed. And that's what they put in the review, that he is kind of a hard to love cat. And yet within a couple of days, he was sitting on her lap and she was able to take beautiful pictures that we would never be able to get. So that's the most important thing. Tell them that you're going to send pictures, even things not necessarily pet related. There are some people, like when you walk into their house, they have beautiful orchids. If one of them blooms and they missed it, they want to see it. And last but not least, on how I get my 5-star reviews is sometimes, just sometimes, I will give a little gift. It's not very much. Maybe it's something from the United States or the state that I lived in. And I would give them like a little magnet or something. Or I would see something around the house that they have, and I would get them a little trinket that is, matches that. Maybe some stationery. There was one time when the pet sadly passed away before I even got there. And from the photos on the Trusted House Sitter profile, I had someone paint a little garden rock for them, and I left that. The garden rock cost me £50. I think it was £50. But I was in the heart of London, downtown London, for 12 days and had no pet. And this apartment was luxurious. £50. And that's the first thing they said. They called me, they started crying. They were like, we were so devastated. And now like we have this like lovely little memento. Why did I think of a garden rock? Because they had a beautiful, stunning garden. And I thought they would love to see this. All right, those are my 5 most frequently asked questions and some of the answers to them. Please travel the world. Use Trusted House Sitter. Use HouseCarers. I love Trusted House Sitter. That's the one that I have the most success with. And I have an affiliate code that gives you 25% off. You get 25% discount and I get 2 months free, which is like bonus for me. In the comments, what I want you to tell me is where's your goal? Where's your dream place to pet sit? Mine is Paris. I haven't gotten there yet. I am not fast enough, but I have at least gotten to Bordeaux. So I'm close. And I do have a contact with someone in Paris who messages me back and forth. It just hasn't worked out yet. But that's my goal. Which country, which city, which capital, where do you want to go? Put it in the comments. And I'll see you next time. Bye. I'm trying to figure out the lighting. I know it's kind of tricky, isn't it? There we go. Yeah.